A killer whose conviction changed state law makes a bid for freedom. Carlos Faulkner had his say before two members of the Kentucky Parole Board.
He was convicted of a brutal killing of Lesley Briede in a quiet community. Local 12's Joe Webb was in Frankfort today as Faulkner made his case.
Via video from the Western Kentucky Correctional Center, confessed murderer Carlos Faulkner was quizzed today by two members of the Kentucky Parole Board. They first asked him to recount September 20th, 1992, the morning he broke into the Briede home and bludgeoned and stabbed to death Lesley Briede. Faulkner blamed cocaine addiction and unrequited love.
I just knew that I was going there in a rage. I didn't even have a weapon. I guess I just figured I was going to do what I was going to figure out what I was going to do when I got there. I really didn't know, to be honest with you. I just knew it wasn't going to be good.
Faulkner repeatedly spoke of his love for Lesley Briede.
I do love her, though. I still love her.
He said he's a changed man and has cleaned up in prison. Faulkner says if released, he'd move to Campbell County, get his CDL, and launch a music career. Faulkner apologized to Briede's family and said he knew that he had destroyed lives. On Monday, Lesley Briede's mother, Briede Bill, joined several others to speak to the Kentucky Parole Board against Carlos Faulkner's potential release. Ironically, Briede Bill lobbied long and hard for what's called the Briede Bill, a change in Kentucky law that created the sentence of life without parole. Retired Fort Wright Police Chief Gene Weaver joined Mrs. Briede and made his point to the parole board clear.
Visualize the worst crime scene you've ever seen in a movie or on television, and that would be nothing compared to this crime scene. He is a life criminal, and I think that the community is at risk if he is ever released.
The two members of the parole board meeting in Frankfort today made no recommendation. Faulkner admitted he did not think they would let him out.
I did not. I prayed a lot last night, and I prayed a lot this morning, and I basically left it in God's hand. Whatever he wants out of this meeting is what I'm going to have to live with.
In God's hands and the parole board's when they meet Monday to decide his fate. In Frankfort, Kentucky, Joe Webb, Local 12 News.
And when the parole board meets on Monday, as Joe said, members can do one of three things. They can decide to release Faulkner, set another hearing date years down the road, or order him to serve a life sentence.